Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sport Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It's hump day. It's time to get over that damn hump. We're actually through the hump, so we should be on the tail end side of a week that the Dallas Cowboys, that we can kind of kick back, relax, and, watch the other teams fight it out. And as you can see, we have the bad luck belt that later on this week we will be doing a little exorcism, so to speak. We'll be saging it and definitely trying to change the mojo on it. And we're going to keep that thing hidden come game time because we don't know what's up with that. But with that being said, we've spoken with my buddy, a.k.a. The Wolf, Stuart Morrison. He had his third surgery yesterday. He's recovering and doing pretty good. He said in his picks for this week, he won't have any other surgeries until next Tuesday. So our thoughts and prayers go out to him. And in the meantime, Pizzle? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy, Pizzle? You know you're my baby. You know you are part of the family. And I expect you to be a man, not a little biatch, and finish the bet. But with that being said, let me bring in my brother Roz, who we were actually having a conversation here before we got on here live, because there may be some movement that's going on with Deshaun Watson, and it seems like the Miami Dolphins are allegedly the team that wants him right now to try and save a season. Roz, how are you doing this evening?
Our season's over. They need to just accept that.
Really?
The Dolphins' season is done.
So
now, Tua can certainly bring us back and push us to the playoffs. But make no mistake, a playoff appearance is the best we can hope for.
Okay.
We got too many things. You and I were talking about the coaching issues. There's too many things going on. We're not ready. We are not ready to push hard, deep in. Bringing in a guy like Watson would be a waste of money and time.
Okay.
Unless you're rebuilding for next year, in which case, what are you spending to get him?
Well, he hasn't had an off season, hasn't had a training camp, and he's coming into a new system. So there would be the learning curve of him getting up to speed. But you don't think his talent would be enough to help the team at all? I mean, if he can stay healthy, that's an improvement right there, isn't it?
Remember what I said.
Okay.
Way back, way back when we used to talk about this a lot preseason.
Uh-huh.
Dak's got the same stats.
He did.
There's a lot of quarterbacks
have
the same stats, and he only had them for 1 year.
Well, if we go through with the way that they ranked Dak Prescott, didn't he play all 16 games last year?
Watson?
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the only great season he's had.
But weren't they 4-12?
Yes.
I mean, my math is kind of fuzzy.
And
isn't that a losing record?
And his best receiver is with Miami on the IR. Just like he was in Houston last year when they went 4-12. So, again, why are you going to bring him in and waste the money?
And possibly have to deal with the baggage that he could be suspended.
Oh, or the new baggage that he creates. I mean, he's got a whole new clientele possibility, and never mind, I ain't even going to go there.
Well, this is the thing that kind of bugs me. You accepted the big contract. The thing that, I'm old school. Today everything is me. And if it's not working, then you need to appease me. So I need to go to someplace else that I can immediately win. Whatever happened to fixing your own problems or fixing your situation where you are? That's the thing that got me on Carson Wentz. When Carson Wentz got benched and immediately was like, I want to be traded. How about you look into yourself and say, what role did I have into being benched? What can I do to fix the situation?
You know, it's interesting you bring that up because who is the one quarterback that nobody outside of the fantasy community has been talking about this season? One quarterback you've never heard his name since week 1.
Who? I haven't heard his name since week 1.
Number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, he's not.
Because the initial thing was, because everything's been about Urban Meyer, really. But aside from that, you don't hear about it because everything leading up to week 1 was he is going to a horrible Jacksonville team.
Mm-hmm.
He's never lost a game in college or high school.
Yeah, and he was going to a bad situation as a rookie with
and he's going to have to learn how to lose, and it's going to ruin him. But you know what? This guy has stepped up, and he's taken his lumps, and he's firing, and he even brought Jacksonville back to beat Miami last week. So
is that why you're saying their season's over?
That's one of many reasons. But, yeah, pretty much that loss was kind of like, y'all ain't ready. I mean, you can have a bad game, and you can have a bad game in London because most people do.
Yeah.
But you had a chance to win that, and you took the ball out of Tua's hands.
Yeah, okay.
So, anyways, I'm not going back to Tua right now. But what I'm saying is those players are still out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Look, when CeeDee Lamb was getting drafted, and they showed him in his living room with everybody, and his girl took his phone like she was going to look at it. He didn't even look at her. He just took the phone back.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought watching that is I'm like, yeah, that's a diva move right there. But no, he came in as a professional. And that's what I'm saying. There are so many professionals. James Robinson with Jacksonville, if we want to stick with that team.
Yeah.
He's an undrafted free agent.
Mm-hmm.
He ran a historic number of shares last year, and he's doing it again just to play. Those guys are still there, right?
Yeah.
Carson Wentz, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to throw Russell Wilson in there because Russell Wilson I think his is more about the environment. They're just not together anymore.
Yeah, I don't see him and Pete Carroll getting along anymore.
No, I mean, he cares more about his brand new baby, and like he just wants to move on and just go elsewhere type of thing.
Yeah, you know,
but those other guys I named,
yeah,
those are divas. Those are people that think they're better than whatever team they're a part of.
Well, see, here's the thing. And I think this is why sometimes you'll see big name guys fail, is because, you know, you're starting out as a little leaguer and people start seeing your potential. You're always the guy. You end up going to the football factory where you're the guy, and you're surrounded by a lot of the guys where you got a great team and all these personnel and everything else where, you know, guys that are second and third string could be starters at other schools. So it gets to be easy because you have so much talent around you. The problem is when you get to the NFL and you're that high draft pick and stuff, it's different because now the best of the best are all there in the NFL, even with the bad teams. And some of the guys, because they had so much around them, they didn't have to work quite as hard to succeed. And especially ones that have success the rookie year before there's a book out on them. The second year, they think, oh, well, this is easy. I'm in the NFL. I could say Chase Young right now. They come back the next year and think they got it made, and they haven't put in the work that guy who's not the diva, that Dak Prescott who was never the guy who everybody says, well, we have to have a backup. And somehow I get thrown in there and I get a chance to play, but I have to work my ass off because I don't have those talents or that pedigree. You know what I mean?
Real quick, I'm sorry. It caught my eye.
Yeah.
David Fineo there.
David.
He said Tannehill or Ryan, and
Matt Ryan?
I mean, Ryan Tannehill is his name.
Or it could be
you
Matt
can call
Ryan.
him either one.
It could be Tannehill or Matt Ryan.
Oh, if that's the case, I'd play either. In leagues that I need a quarterback, I'm picking up Tannehill. In leagues that I have Matt Ryan, I'm playing Matt Ryan.
Okay.
That's a coin flip.
Okay, so it's really the same guy. A.A. Ron is a huge diva.
It just threw me off the whole, as Ryan Tannehill. I'm like,
yeah, I saw that too, and then I started thinking, Ryan. I was like, maybe it's Matt Ryan. Okay, so he used the last name on both of those.
So
Lisa, what's happening?
You bring up a great point, though. That second-year slump is not really necessarily because the player's bad or teams are better. It can just be laziness or Chase Young.
Chase Young.
Effect.
I think Chase Young came in out of shape. Here it is. I'm NFL Rookie of the Year. I got it made, man. I'm the guy. He's doing all these different ads in Washington. It's like, every time you turn on the TV, you see freaking Chase Young all over the place, and you kind of get complacent. That hunger can be the difference of the guy. Because think about Dak. Dak is, let's build a football field in my backyard so we can practice. Come on over, we'll play PlayStation, Game Boy or whatever the fuck that shit is. We'll hang out at the pool, but we're going to work. We're going to work on these routes and everything else, and we're going to get our shit better. Aaron Rodgers, he hangs out in California. He doesn't work out with the team. He doesn't even like to go to Green Bay until he absolutely positively has to. And, you look at Carson Wentz, who wasn't exactly well-liked in the locker room, who's always been the guy. Once he got a dose of the reality of you got to work, he didn't know how to work to get that job back. He's never had to fight to get that position. At least that's my take on it.
No, absolutely. Look, you go back to, as we were talking, Chase Young.
Mm-hmm.
Other names had popped in my head. Trent Richardson was a big one.
Yeah.
Came out. Top running back pick, came out as a gangbuster. Year 2, disappeared, never heard from again. Just couldn't handle the pressure and everything else. Vince Young was a little different case. Jamarcus Russell was a little different case, but similar thing. The pressure got to them when they weren't the man with all the team around them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And some people handle it different. Those guys walked away. Carson Wentz, Aaron Rodgers act like divas.
Carson Wentz will limp away.
Some people just get fired.
Mm-hmm. I said Carson Wentz will just kind of limp away. He won't walk away. He'll limp away. Oh, sorry.
I hope I'm not. Going to get kicked off the weekly picks, but Carson Wentz might have a bit better second half of the year than he's had so far. I'm just throwing that out there. Quentin Nelson's coming back off the list. The schedule lightens up a little bit as far as he's concerned. All he has to do is not screw up the job.
Okay. All right, I hear you. I mean, it's true. He was the second pick of the draft. He should be able to play pretty well. But be that as it may, but Chase Young, looking at his numbers, he's got 2 sacks on the season. I mean, we're talking about the defensive rookie of the year. He's got 2 sacks, 19 combined tackles.
But how many quarterback hurries or hits has he got?
4 hits.
Right. So because one thing that I'm looking at this year, which, the defensive guys, apparently analytics guys have been pretty savvy on this for a while, but pressures and hits are kind of like red zone rushes or inside the 5-yard rushes.
Right.
You're just a step or two behind getting that sack.
Mm-hmm.
So
But you're making the
you know, we're not
quarterback
counting them as
move, throw.
sacks,
Yeah.
but we are counting them as how effective the player's being. So 4 hits, not really that special either, you know?
Well, and here's where I was talking about earlier about Osa Adigizua. I hope I pronounced his name right. So he's a 3rd-round pick as a rookie, right? And we talk about Chase Young, who was the rookie defensive player of the year. He doesn't have as many tackles. He's got 13 combined, but he's got 8 quarterback hits twice as an interior defensive lineman, not a defensive end, as an interior defensive lineman, in the same number of sacks. So, yeah, Chase Young is not doing anything near what people expected him to do.
I was going to try and pronounce the name, but no, not doing it.
Odigizua? I know it's Odigizua.
Odigizua.
Yeah, Odigizua. That's closer than I usually am. It may not be perfect, but it's pretty close. Gary Hawk, how are you doing? Raven S, thank you very much for the alternate helmet. I love it. Trucker's Life. What you cooking for dinner tonight, man? And Thomas Garrett, what's up? And Lisa, what's up, Lisa? How are y'all doing this evening? We are doing our pick segment tonight. We were actually talking about the possibility of Deshaun Watson going to Miami, but it's all kinds of confluted. That's not right. There's all kinds of shit with it, okay? Washington says, of course, they're not interested in Tua, but here's the thing, though. Is anybody actually going to tell you, yeah, we're interested in trading for Tua? You don't do that. Nobody's going to tell you that. If they are or they're not going to tell you, yeah, that's the guy we want to get, because then the price goes up. Right?
Well,
and technically, isn't that tampering?
The price would go up if they hadn't already, been, I guess, working on the deal. You know, I mean, a negotiation at some point.
Yeah.
You're just in the negotiation. The whole we want him is pretty evident, and the price doesn't really go up from there. So I think if we're hearing that Tua is off the table, and that could be because people backed out, or, you know, like Washington doesn't want him, that sort of thing. If we're hearing that Tua is off the table, I've got to say that Deshaun Watson's off the table too, because Miami's not going to bring him in and have Tua still.
Yeah. And they're not going to just release him after a number 1 pick. And right. They also, and here's the other problem, and this is where, how much compensation, how many number 1 picks is it going to be? And to me, when you see these blockbuster trades for quarterbacks, even in the, moving up in the draft, Eli Manning was one of the few ones that you say, okay, they won some Super Bowls with it. But for the most time, when you see all these big trades where teams are moving up to get quarterbacks, not very often do they actually work out for the team that's reaching.
Look, I'm not saying that Mitchell Trubisky got drafted ahead of him, but I'm just saying I don't want him in Miami.
I agree with you about the diva part of it. And the thing is, if you quit on your team there, who's to say you're not going to quit on the team in Miami?
I mean, you bring him into Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got Will Fuller. You can re-sign him next year. You have Jalen Waddle. And then you have Myles Gaskin. Because Denver jumped you to get Javonte Williams this year. Okay, so
yeah.
So you're not going to have any bigger running game. You're not going to get any defensive superstars. I mean, you're spending all these picks
to get him.
You're literally going to have the same team next year with Watson.
Yeah.
Now there are guys like Juju that are going to be free agents, but you're going to be bringing in guys who are coming off of injury, or you're going to be bringing in guys who other teams just don't want to pay.
Right.
So you're still not going to be able to build a blockbuster around him. And we know he couldn't carry a team. His only healthy year, he went 4-12.
Right. And see, this is where the Cowboys, with
they were winning when they had Hopkins.
Yeah.
And Bill O'Brien. He hated Bill O'Brien, but they had more wins.
But Bill O'Brien was the trades he made, getting Tunsil because
Well, yeah, he was an idiot. There's no doubt about that.
He had talent and he got rid of it, and that's where I think Watson was like, "This is just stupid." Once they wanted to bring in a GM who was tied to the Patriots, he was like, "Screw this, I'm done." I kind of understand that standpoint of it, but you still we're getting paid $39 million a year.
Look at what he produced.
Yeah,
you're talking about one of the dumbest coaches ever in Bill O'Brien, if not the dumbest.
Yes.
And DeAndre Hopkins. Mm-hmm. Without those two, he went 4-12.
He went worse.
Best year.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't want him.
Yeah.
DeMonte Kazee, huh?
Well, Kazee, of course, early in the morning Tuesday, in a Dallas suburb, was busted for a misdemeanor.
I mean, come on, it's a bye week. It's Dallas. You got to get somebody arrested. Come on. I mean, it wouldn't be the Cowboys if somebody didn't get arrested.
We've actually been pretty tame.
Come on, Lyle Collins tried to bribe somebody. Come on.
That was,
look, own it. It's your star. Okay, own it.
Are we saying that's the only? Okay, that's it. We haven't had any Zeke sightings, no booby gate where he's pulled down a woman's top or anything like that. Okay. We hadn't had the Tyrone Crawford, fighting in the club.
But you're winning.
And we're winning.
You're winning.
Yeah. All right. So let's get on to these picks. Yeah, of course, DT, I saw that, and he's not going to comment on it because it's a legal matter. I don't think that it's going to lead to a suspension for him, but who knows? It's the Cowboys, of course. They always have it in.
What was it for again?
Driving while intoxicated. I don't think he was that far over the limit.
It might be a one game, if anything.
Yeah.
And that might just be a one game,
We hate the Cowboys. We're going to give you one game.
It's a team thing, not an NFL thing.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens on that one. But it's like the Cowboys, to me, I last night my fireside chat was like, listen, there's 3.5 months left to the season. If you guys focus and just say it's all about football, you have a chance.
Get that playoff win.
Maybe more than just that playoff win. If you just say it's only about football, screw this, we're going out of town, screw the ladies, screw the cars, just say it's all about freaking football. You guys have something right now that could be special. I know, screw you. I know you hate the Cowboys, but honestly,
I was just going to say you can't say screw the ladies because look how that worked out in Houston. You already brought in one hooker. I mean, look what happened there with the Coof stuff. I got to say Coof now because if I say the other word, then TikTok bans me.
Okay. What I'm saying is, for whatever reason, however it happened, by hook or crook, the Cowboys have depth. We actually have been able to weather losing Zach Martin for a game or Lyle Collins or Michael Gallup, and you kind of look and say, do we really need Lyle Collins? That boy Terrence Steele been playing pretty good. Zach Martin was out, and we got, Connor McGovern. That boy played pretty good. And you had Michael Gallup go out, and you say, that boy Cedric Wilson, he played pretty good. You had Donovan Wilson go out. Kazee before the drunk driving played pretty good. I'm just saying, this team is about the loadedest team you've seen since the 90s. And the only thing that really should stop them is themselves.
If you guys are focused, all right, let me say it this way. If y'all are focused, dead set on football, I see 3 losses. If you slip up, there might be a 4th. I don't really see a 5th loss in there, but it could be just, goofy divisional games type stuff. Or
we've won the division and there's nothing to play for, so we're going to rest everybody.
Right. So you could be looking at maybe up to 5 losses, which really is not much in a 17-game season.
12-5.
Well, 6. If you get 5 more and you lost opening day.
Oh, to get 5 more. I thought you meant 5 total. Okay, excuse me. 11.
I just looked at the rest of the schedule, and I don't see 5 losses. But what I'm saying is it could happen that way, the way the ball bounces.
We could have peaked. You don't know who gets hurt.
Right. But I mean, speaking of the Thursday night game, right?
Baker Mayfield.
No starting tackle, no starting quarterback, no starting 2 running backs.
Yeah.
You might not have your starting outside wide receiver. You might not have your starting slot receiver.
Right.
Oh, wait. There's another offensive tackle that might be out.
Right.
And we didn't even get to the defense.
But see, here's the thing with the Cowboys. Cowboys have had more players miss time because of COVID. And, we've lost, DeMarcus Lawrence. Okay, if you had said to most Cowboy fans, Jalen Smith wasn't going to be there, DeMarcus Lawrence is only going to play in the first game before he breaks his foot, Michael Gallup is going to have a calf injury, and he's going to be out for 6 games, you're going to lose Lyle Collins, right? You would have said, shit, the season's over. Oh, and Donovan Wilson isn't going to play. And Randy Gregory is going to miss time. Huh?
Did Stu really say 12-5?
12, yeah. He said at minimum.
That's going to be a little creepy if he was really dead on with 12-5. Because that's about where I'm looking right now, and you just said the same thing. And
yeah. You're going to lose. You're going to lose some games that you shouldn't lose. I mean, there's here's the thing too. Just as the Cowboys are playing really, really good right now, there's going to be some other teams that later on are going to be playing really good. Tampa Bay wasn't good until the last half of the season. They were 7-5 there for a while, and it didn't look like Brady and all them. I mean, Brady and the coach weren't getting along. Let's be realistic. What?
All right, let's be realistic for a minute, okay? I don't care how good Atlanta gets. They ain't that. I don't care how good Philly gets. I don't care how good Washington gets. They ain't getting that good.
Oh, I agree with that. My division, I'm sorry. Right now, our division, you're basically everybody's looking at, do we need a new coach and a quarterback? Okay?
No.
What?
You got – hold on. No.
Washington doesn't need the new coach, or at least they don't – at least at the moment.
Washington's the only one that's got the coach.
Right.
The other two have the quarterbacks.
Well, Washington needs a quarterback too. Are you thinking Hopkins?
No, Washington has no quarterback.
That's what I said. They either need a coach, a quarterback,
Philly
or both.
And the Giants both have a quarterback.
Daniel Jones, sorry, buddy.
Hey,
Daniel Jones.
Look.
You know who Daniel Jones reminds me of?
Has not lost the
Joey
game.
Harrington.
What?
Daniel Jones is Joey Harrington.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Joey Harrington couldn't win a game to save his life. Daniel Jones can run 100 yards to try and win.
How many games did he win?
Joey Harrington was not a gamer. He was a game manager. Daniel Jones.
And guess what? Daniel Jones is a turnover machine, man. He's got more. Yes.
How many turnovers has he been doing lately?
5 last week. 5 last week.
Okay, well that doesn't count.
5 in one game.
Right, but what game was that?
No, there's no buts. 5. He had 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions. Huh?
Who did they play?
It doesn't matter. If you turn over the ball against anybody, you can't do that. You've got to protect the football.
And prior to that, nothing. Patrick Mahomes right now is leading the league in interceptions.
True, but he's throwing touchdown passes. He's also leading the league with touchdowns. You can't turn
over the ball.
Okay.
You just said you can't turn over the ball. Now you can't have it both ways. Come on now.
Okay. I'm
not saying that Daniel Jones is Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, but how many touchdowns has Daniel Jones been? Okay, if you're turning over the football, you got to at least be able to score some points. He ain't scoring no points. Now you're beginning to sound like Rashid because you're trying to convince me that Daniel Jones is a good quarterback
No,
and that
what
he's
I'm
a
trying
winner.
to convince you is that he's not the problem in New York.
Okay.
He may not be the solution. He may not be Eli Manning throwing to David Tyree.
At least Jameis Winston was 30 for 30. Right now, Daniel Jones is 4 for 4. 4 TDs, 4 interceptions.
Okay, what about Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Holmes has 17 touchdowns at least. Let me look him. Let me look him up.
16. Bigelow said 16.
No, actually, he's got 18 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Oh, yeah, Trump fan, I'm sorry. You're right. Zach Wilson does lead the league, but nobody counts the Jets, so we ignored them.
Okay, so Pat Mahomes, 18 touchdowns with 8 interceptions. Daniel Jones, 4 touchdowns with 4 interceptions, but he's got like 6 fumbles.
14 more touchdowns, and he'll be Pat Mahomes.
Thank you. Okay. And Pat Mahomes is not having a great season, although Pat Mahomes is a 103 passer rating. Daniel Jones, 83.
Pat Mahomes is looking a little bit like Deshaun Watson this year, I think. But anyways, so I know I threw out all that stuff on the Cleveland game. I don't know. Do we care really what's going on with their defensive side, or is that enough for you to decide that Denver is the winner?
Well, Denver at home getting 2 points. I think I'm going to take Denver on that one.
No, Denver on the road.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's on the road. I think I'm going to take Denver on that one.
And we got to go 1.5. We got to go with the lines I gave to Stu. So Denver's getting 1.5
Shout out
points.
to Stu, who I see in chat.
Denver.
Okay. I'm going to take Denver too.
Oh my gosh, I am completely, my apologies.
Okay.
The Wolf has 52 total picks correct through 6 weeks.
Boom. Shakalaka.
55%.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas is at 48 picks correct with 51%.
Mm-hmm.
So Stu is beating Vegas by 4 games. I am dead even with Vegas. At the back end, Jobu is 1 game ahead of me.
So I'm 3 games behind Stu.
You are 3 games behind Stu, but you are beating Vegas at 52% on the year.
Okay.
Now, last week, I beat
week.
everybody, but that was because I had to catch up from only getting 4 correct in week 2. That was horrible. Okay, so sorry. I just wanted to get your numbers out there.
Okay, well, I'm going to take Denver on that one.
I mean, since your fans are here.
Now, here's an interesting take on Speak for Yourself was, will Baker Mayfield get his job back from Case Keenum?
That's actually a really good question. I would not be shocked if Baker gets the job back and Case Keenum gets a Jimmy Garoppolo deal next year.
Well, it might be that we're going to make sure that Baker Mayfield is really healthy to give Case Keenum a chance because, for the most part, it's really handing the football off.
Stu just popped the Discord if you want to throw that up there.
Because here's the thing, Baker Mayfield, you've got to figure out if you're going to shit or get off the toilet because, contract time. And do you want to pay Baker Mayfield big-time money is the question.
The thing with Case Keenum is that he is a
game manager.
He's better than Taylor Heineke, but he's not as good as Jimmy G. Right? So there's like that window, that Teddy Bridgewater kind of window where because Heineke is not going to win you a game.
No, he's not.
Okay. Bridgewater might win you a game. So that's kind of where Keenum's at. Jimmy G can win you a game if he has to. He's done it. Let's just be honest. He has done it. I don't know if he can still do it, but he has done it. So Keenum's kind of where that Bridgewater's at. The, mm-hmm. the bridge over Keenum's waters. I don't know, but
Okay.
but Keenum's kind of where that Bridgewater's at. The bridge over Keenum's waters. I don't know, but.
Okay.
Um, so Keenum, Keenum's kind of where that Bridgewater's at. The bridge over Keenum's waters. I don't know, but but he's not a bad quarterback. He's just not a star
Great.
in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And Cleveland could survive with the pieces around him because that defense and offensive line, when healthy, are arguably some of the best in the league.
In the running game. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the running game goes hand in hand with I'm always an offensive line guy. I've still got the top offensive lines to start the year up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my little stickers that I always see because I always go throughout the year. We grade the lines, and running games basically for me are offensive lines.
Okay. All right, so we're all taking Denver on that one, figuring that the Browns are imploding. Okay. Washington football team getting 7.5 points, going to
We had a negative 8.5 on ours.
Oh, wow. Actually, wow, they're all over. Okay, so DraftKings at 7.5. Caesar's Book, it's 8.5. At BetMGM, it's 9.5. Damn. And at points dot something or other, it's 8. Damn, it's all over the map.
Yeah.
So what did you get?
It actually moved. Believe it or not, the line that I have moved from 9.5 on Monday to 8.5 now.
Okay.
So in 2 days, it's come down a single point. I think they're trying to get people to bet the Green Bay side because if it's moving like that, everybody's taking the extra points.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 points might actually be the window. Stu and I are going with Vegas on this one at 8.5. We're giving up taking Green Bay. Injuries, none that matter. But
you forgot Washington's feelings. They've been hurt. Washington's feelings have been hurt.
For how many years? Like, does that really count?
Okay.
I mean, the fact that Rio's still a fan is just, I admire the man.
Okay.
But I will say that Heineke might be on the edge of giving the job up to Kyle Allen or Ryan Fitzpatrick once he gets healthy.
Stu says his meds are kicking in. I can't chat, but I'm here.
That Heineke may not be long for the job.
Stu, I hope they're giving you the good shit.
Well, he faded out pretty quick, so
he said, "Okay." He said, "I'm here. I just can't chat, but I'm here." So shout out to Stu. Okay, I will take. God, I hate to take. It's
8.5 points.
That's a lot to give up, but I have no faith in Washington. They're ass. Green Bay.
Well, I was waiting because you did say you would never take them. And that's a big line. Big line.
I mean, it's okay. Kansas City going to Titans -5.5. You know what? Everybody still believes in Kansas City. Kansas City's not a good team. The defense is horrendous, and Mahomes is making turnovers. I'm going to take the 5.5 points for Tennessee on that one.
Joe Thuney still didn't practice as of today.
Okay.
That's their starting guard.
Mm-hmm.
There's really nothing else major going on with them. Taylor Lewan still did not practice for Tennessee, and he got the concussion in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only concern there. So I took Kansas City -5.5. Stu took the points at 5.5.
I'm with Stu.
Taking Tennessee.
I'm with you, Stu. Okay.
Wow. Hey, look. Well, you can't see it over there, but I got my Tennessee on the wall.
Tennessee.
I carried the flag out
mm-hmm.
with the rest of the Wounded Warriors for Kansas City, Green Bay, Tennessee home game.
Mm-hmm.
We carried the flag out, stretched it out for the anthem. So
nice.
I got a soft spot for Tennessee, but that doesn't mean I'm
going to to pick them though. Okay. And we have the Atlanta Falcons being giving 2.5 points to Miami Dolphins in Miami. How's that happen?
Yeah, we got -2 for Stu. He took Atlanta.
Atlanta? Are we at that point with the Miami Dolphins that Atlanta is favored? I mean, seriously, on the road? Am I missing something here? I mean, I know Miami lost to the Jets in London, but damn.
See the red lights?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the red zone, and not the red zone where you score touchdowns. It's the red zone, like red line, like you're blowing the engine. Like Atlanta's coming off of a bye. I'm taking Atlanta.
I'm going to take the home team. I'm going to have faith in your Miami Dolphins.
You're going to take Miami.
I'm going to take Miami. 2.5 points.
All right. Hey, look.
Home team and 2.5 points.
I had respect there. It's my team, but they pissing me off.
All right, we have the Jets going to Gillette Stadium, getting 7 points against New England. The Jets, after the big win over the Miami Dolphins. New England going toe-for-toe with the Cowboys, losing in overtime. A Nelson Aguilar catch away from winning that game.
What Jets win?
Against the Miami Dolphins?
No, they had a bye week.
Didn't they beat the Jets? Who did the Jets win? Who did the Jets beat?
The Jets, they had a bye week. Jacksonville beat Miami.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Jets were off.
That's right.
Nobody noticed.
I'm sorry.
Because nobody
bad teams just get stuck in my head. They all just like the same. Okay, and I'm getting old. Okay, all right. But the Jets.
Yeah, I know. I was just trying to help you out there.
The Jets getting 7 points in New England. I can't bet on the Jets. I'll have to take New England. What did you and Stu do? Did you screen freeze?
All right, sorry. I just got a report, and all it was a reiteration. I saw Bigelow mention the Deshaun Watson again. Everybody's reiterating the same thing that's been said all year. So, don't care. All right, you're taking New England?
Yeah, I'll take New England.
All right, you, Stu, and Vegas are taking New England. I'm taking 7.5 points to take the Jets.
Okay.
And I can't say much about that because they're both teams I hate. So I'm just taking 3 points.
Okay. Carolina, how the mighty have fallen after starting out 3-0. They've kind of gone downhill. Of course, losing Christian McCaffrey and him being IR does not help. Sam Darnold, where everybody thought all of a sudden Sam Darnold's a great quarterback, it was just being in the Jets organization, has come back down to earth. They are going to MetLife, where it seems to be dumpster juice on fire. There's calls for the coach, the quarterback,
the question becomes,
the GM. Head.
Question becomes, can Carolina overcome the maggots?
Yeah, I'm going to take Carolina on that one.
I think that is a clean sweep for all of us.
The Giants are just bad. Sad. For my son.
I mean, we at least had to discuss Washington, Green Bay. There's no point discussing this one.
The Cincinnati Bengals getting 6.5 points against the Baltimore Ravens going to M&T. Baltimore, I haven't wanted to believe that they're really that good, but they keep winning. They keep finding ways to win, even when they're 19 points down.
You are what your record says you are, right?
Cincinnati, a lot better than I thought they would be. Joe Burrow is actually doing pretty good, even getting punched in the throat. But I think Baltimore is the winner here. 6.5 points, though. Baltimore seems to keep having these close games.
Now, I will tell you, Stu took the 6.5 with Cincinnati side. I'm giving up the 6.5 on the Baltimore side.
Mm-hmm.
So you're with one of us.
I'm with both of you guys. You're my friends. You're my people. But I think I'm going to take Baltimore.
All right,
Baltimore at home.
Stu's going to lone wolf this one. Huh? See what I did there?
Ooh. Okay.
Wolf.
And we have the Philadelphia Eagles getting 3, going to the Raiders. The Raiders, who rebounded from John Gruden being gone and came back and played a lot better than what people thought. And actually, maybe the air is clear getting rid of John Gruden. You know, I will never pick the Eagles for anything. The Eagles could be going against a Little League team, and I will pick the Little League team.
And I am going to lone wolf it this time. Stu is taking the Raiders. I'll be honest. I think that last week was you're right, clearing the air, crazy, happy, and now the air is going to come out of the balloon.
TW, shout out to you on the super chat. Is it true Eagles just signed Let's Go Brandon from Washington? I hadn't heard that.
Eagles. I don't see any moves made recently.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we just want to let's go Brandon. Yeah, I don't see any recent activity with them.
Okay. Maybe you got some news we hadn't heard there, buddy. Joseph Heatherly. No way I'm picking the Eagles. Read what I said in my notes on Philly game, Ross. His notes on the Philly game.
Oh, yeah, he mentioned that he said, Philly 500, y'all suck. Raiders going to double moonwalk on that ass.
Oh, my God.
Hashtag let's go Brandon.
The funniest thing, the funniest meltdown that I think I've seen Philly 500 was actually not even his own team playing. From the Cowboys Patriots game, when Nelson Aguilar dropped that catch, he's like, never throw to Nelson Aguilar a third down. Oh, I mean, he's just like, his body is flailing with it. It was just, oh my God, poor Philly 500. That's what Trump fan. Brandon is a race car driver. Yeah, so that's what it came. I was like, who is he talking about? Okay. You're picking the Eagles though, right?
Washington. I don't see anything with Washington. Now they have Brandon Scherf, the guard was signed. He's injured right now, but I've got all the news going back to last week. I've got nothing on.
Oh, damn. Oh, this is the fake Philly 500. Okay. You're fake. You're fraud. Because the real Philly 500 has a
Dallas
wrench.
Cowboys for life.
No. Philly 500
once he's your son.
No. That's not
PC4L.
That's a fraud because he doesn't have the wrench. The real Philly 500 is a moderator.
Wait, you let Philly 500 moderate a Dallas Cowboys channel?
I'm a moderator on his. Mutually assured destruction.
Y'all just sick.
No, right. That way we know when it's really us because there's so many fake ones of us out there. So we're cool with that. I won't block any of his people. He won't block any of mine. We're okay. We're actually friends. Seriously. All right. So this one's crazy. The Lions going to SoFi Stadium getting 14.5 to 15.5. I don't know which one you have.
We had 15 straight.
Wow. 2 touchdowns. I mean, garbage time these days. That's the biggest line this year, isn't it? 15 points?
No, we actually have a bigger line coming up, and we had a bigger one a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to take the line. I mean, 15 points. That's a lot of damn points.
Wait. Can you say that into the microphone?
15 points is a lot of money.
No, the other part.
I'm going to take the Lions. I just like, you know what?
I'm sorry.
The Rams might think it's a bye week
it's
and
not every
show
day
up.
you get to hear somebody say they're taking the Lions, but
Yeah.
Stu is taking the Lions as well.
And you're going to take the Rams in the blowout.
And I'm going to go with Vegas on this one because even though one of the guys I look to for, some analysis, even though he thinks that same garbage time thing is going to happen, this might be a statement game. This might be that whole, we want to show you just how bad you are because our quarterback was your quarterback and now you got stuck with ours. You know what I mean? Kind of a McVay,
I hear you.
Smarter than you type of game.
Okay, I hear you.
Because he is pretty arrogant. Let's be real. He thought he could joke through Belichick in the Super Bowl.
Okay, all right. So then the other big one then, I didn't realize the Texans, they're putting me to sleep. 17.5 points. Wow. Going to State Farm Stadium.
Arizona given 17.5 at home against Houston.
Wow. That's a lot.
Now, I will say one key to this game is we don't think Tyrod will play, but the coaching staff said he's got a shot, just like Miami did with Tua last week.
Tyrod Taylor getting the shot. Okay.
Well, what we don't want him to do is puncture another lung.
Yeah. Was that intended to be a joke? He's got a shot. Ah!
Yeah. No more injections for that guy.
Okay. Oh, man. The Cardinals are playing really good, but 17.5 points?
All right, I'm going to help you make a decision here. I took Arizona. I'm giving up those points. But Stu thinks
I'm going to take the
Houston's
Texans.
Gonna cover.
I mean, that's 2 touchdowns. I mean, that basically you got to win by 3 touchdowns.
That's basically 3 touchdowns.
That's a lot.
Because it's 2 touchdowns plus a field goal plus a half point.
Right. That's a lot.
That's like a whole game.
Yeah.
And you ready for this one?
You trying to convince yourself to change?
The over-under is only like 44 or 45. So that means they're expecting Arizona to score all the points.
All right, so then we've got the Bears.
Wait, who'd you take?
I took the Texans.
Okay. Wow. Detroit and Houston in the same week. I mean, what kind of world do we live in?
Hey, dude, that's what? 31.5 points?
Now we got the Bears. You're going to take the Bears with a 13-point spread?
Against Tampa Bay.
That's like 2 touchdowns.
Actually, I am. I'm going to take the Bears in that because Tampa Bay wins. Tampa Bay against Bill Belichick. Field goal? They almost lost the game. That's 2 touchdowns. Garbage time.
Yeah, look. All right, I see what you're saying. Stu and I are both going on the Tampa Bay side.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, I understand the garbage time thing, but one thing with Vegas is you can fall into that trap where the line isn't what's really there.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
We'll
find out. We'll find out Sunday.
Well, yeah.
The Colts getting 4.5 points, going to Levi Stadium. Funny thing is, everybody seems to think, or the perception is that San Francisco is really a great team, but I don't think they're that good this year. I can't stand the Colts because they have Carson Wentz. I just can't root for them. So, of course, I'll take San Francisco.
Looks like I'm going to lone wolf this one with Indianapolis. Like I said, I think things are going to shift a little bit for them. Now, maybe I'm wrong about this game. And this game is they're just going to get stomped. But at some point I see the team kind of shifting. Oh, Philly's looking for his wrench.
That's not the real Philly. That's why. When he says, "How do we know you're the real Mark Holmes?" Okay. Anyway, the final game, the New Orleans Saints going against the Seattle Seahawks.
Geno Smith led.
Yeah.
Now they did
talk to
get Jacob Eason off of waivers.
We still don't know what kind of team New Orleans is, but we definitely know Seattle is not the same team without Russell Wilson.
And so Carson went on IR, which means if the butt cheeks of Alex Collins are not healthy, Rashad Penny will be running the ball with Travis Homer and DJ Dallas.
Take New Orleans on that one.
And I think you can call that a clean sweep because we're all in on that one. Yeah. I mean, 5 points isn't a lot. Seattle's just beat up. Let's be real. Like right now, they are just hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just hammer, mallet, finger, whatever that thing that Russell Wilson has.
Mm-hmm. Where they still think that he'll be back in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, this is week 2 for him.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's still trying to get back in form.
Yeah, good luck with that one. Well, there we have it. We have our picks in. We'll see, starting tomorrow night.
I will say that it's going to be an interesting week. I mean, we're all over the board. You took some by yourself. I took some by myself. Stu took some by himself. And we got 3 clean sweeps.
Okay.
So we got 3 for sure. We're all going to win or lose, including Vegas.
Okay.
Right now, we all got Denver. So we're all rooting for Denver on Thursday night.
All right. That sounds like a winner to me. Okay. All right, everybody. If you have any questions, be sure to check out the Discord channel. Fortunately, we actually had a Stu sighting here tonight. And let me especially thank Brother Roz for taking time out of his day to help manage all of these picks and keep all these numbers and stuff together, and as well as letting me pick his brain because you guys only got a little bit of it, but we've been talking, of course, about Deshaun Watson to Miami and other things like the Cowboys tight end situation, something I'll preview a little bit here now, but definitely something that looks a lot better than what people thought. And, of course, Roz giving up on the Miami Dolphins season.
No. I didn't give up on them. I'm just not my expectations are realistic that one win in the playoffs would be the most we could hope for at this point.
Well,
our team is just not operating properly. Let's be realistic. If everything you're doing in Dallas is right and you're a team of destiny, we are the antithesis of that.
Well, here's what I'll say. We started out 3-5 a few years ago, and we got one player that ended up making all the difference, and we went on a great run to make the playoffs. So all those teams out there that people think that their team is dead, I don't believe it. Cowboys could just as well as they're playing right now, could drop down to the depths. I hope not, but this is where you just take 1 week at a time and enjoy it.
Well, I'm enjoying my boys playing hard, the ones that are out there doing so.
Mm-hmm.
But like last year, y'all lost Dak. The only thing we have is a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like we pretty well lost the rest of the team. Mind you, they're still playing, but goes back to that whole coaching. Something is not right now. They're not cohesive. The defense played so much better last year. The offensive line, nothing's clicking.
Okay. And
So
that's kind of
at
like
least we don't have Ben DiNucci, but
I don't know.
you
Ben
know,
DiNucci might. Maybe Washington should get Ben DiNucci.
I don't know.
All right, everybody. I appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you keep Stuart in your thoughts and prayers. Stuart, I'm glad to see you up on here and everything else. Do what the doctors tell you to do. Get your rest, relax, and just have happy thoughts about the Dallas Cowboys. And with that being said, it's time to turn out the lights. This party's over.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow